Since it is the only Muslim-majority city in the United States, it has since become a target by evangelical Christians for protests and attempts to convert people.
They've realized that they can't make people pro-Israel. They can't make people care about Zionism, so they've shifted to making people fear Muslims.
A document that states that we have religious freedom in this country. There's no Sharia law, there's no terrorist activity, nothing like that.
I'm sure you've noticed it too, but ever since the rise of Zohran Mamdani, Zionists inside of the United States have decided to shift their strategy. They've realized that they can't make people pro-Israel. They can't make people care about Zionism, so they've shifted to making people fear Muslims and hate Arabs again. This was obvious during Zohran's campaign to become mayor. People were referring to him as a jihadist. They were saying, oh, New York's gonna elect a Muslim to run New York. Don't you remember 9/11? People saying that he's going to enact Sharia law, outlandish Islamophobic shit. Now look what's happening at Dearborn. Some conservative freak, Jake Lang, I believe. He's a Jewish man pretending to be Christian, trying to use Christianity to rile up, like far-right extremists, trying to use like white nationalism to make people more afraid of Dearborn, to be against the rise of Muslim insurgency. He's been kind of trending for the past couple of days, and maybe you're thinking, did they do something? Did all the Muslims in Dearborn do something? Did they hurt anybody? No, they're not doing anything. They're just living their lives. But these people are trying to escalate against Arabs, against people of the Islamic faith, so then more Americans can be scared of them. So instead of people not liking the state of Israel, not liking Zionists, we can go back to 2004 shit where everybody doesn't like Muslims again. It's truly a sick and disgusting strategy, and you really need to look out for it because it's only going to keep happening.
If you're familiar with the city of Dearborn, Michigan, you might know that it is the only Muslim-majority city in the United States ever since 2023. It's about 55% Arab American, with Arab immigrants arriving about 100 years ago at the start to work for the Ford Motor Company and gradually coming in waves ever since. Since it is the only Muslim-majority city in the United States, it has since become a target by evangelical Christians for protests and attempts to convert people. These attempts include luring children with candy, parading around a severed pig's head at an Arab American fair because pig is haram in Islam, attempting to burn the Quran in public, and in the case of a few weeks ago, an anti-Islamic protest with a banner saying Americans Against Islamification, led by Florida GOP candidate for the Senate Jake Lang with the help of Turning Point USA. The only interesting thing that I could find about Jake Lang was that he was convicted for beating a police officer at the Capitol on January 6th. However, he was then pardoned by President Trump. The only other interesting thing I could find about Jake Lang was that he sued the city of Dearborn for $200 million, claiming that he was attacked during his anti-Islamic rally. What Lang is doing is a similar technique to what the Westboro Baptist Church did for years, in that the Westboro Baptist Church would file a permit to protest outside of emotionally charged events, such as funerals for soldiers who were killed in Afghanistan or Iraq, holding signs that said incredibly offensive things like "Thank God for dead soldiers." And then, if someone becomes upset by seeing a sign like this, they would attack or speak or retaliate or even just physically touch the member of the Westboro Baptist Church holding the sign. The members of the Westboro Baptist Church would then sue the city for not protecting their First Amendment right to protest. Jake Lang then sued the city of Dearborn, Michigan for $200 million, claiming that he was not able to properly rally and assemble according to his First Amendment rights. Throughout the protests, Lang attempted to instigate crowds multiple times using bacon, which is a pork product, therefore it is haram in Islam. He would also slap the Quran with bacon, and he would claim that he was going to set it on fire in public. He later went to a Dearborn City Council meeting where he said nothing worth repeating, and then he later compared people of color to chimps. In response to this, a teenage counter-protester then punched Lang in the face. Afterwards, he filed suit with the city of Dearborn, calling himself a victim of violence. Now, I'm not a Muslim, I have no interest in converting to Islam, and I have my disagreements with the religion, but I also understand that Jake Lang isn't actually a Christian. He's using Christianity in order to shield himself from accountability and scrutiny, and Christians need to please police that behavior. Hiding behind the cross and the Bible in order to justify hatred against other people to enrich yourself is abhorrent behavior, and I hope more Christians understand this and they do not give him any degree of shelter. The violent rhetoric of the right will continue in Dearborn, Michigan because it is an easy target. They are trying to paint a narrative that Muslims are inherently violent by trying to instigate as many reactions as possible. This was noticed by Imam Dawood Walid, who said right here, "The aim is to monetize their hate through campaign donations and social media views. Anti-Muslim bigotry is the only acceptable form of overt bigotry in America, and it can reward people monetarily. People can monetize anti-Muslim bigotry through clicks and donations, so it's not just something that is an issue of hate. Hating Muslims pays financial dividends." Walid also later said that Republicans should be calling out this behavior, saying when they stay silent about what these people are doing, it's a silent complicity, and I 100% agree with that. This behavior needs to be policed. He also recommends ignoring these agitators, saying here, "There's an Arabic proverb that says the lion doesn't turn around when the small dog barks. Let those guys come and howl at the wind, then go back home to where they live." These are often the most effective techniques when it comes to dealing with agitators like this, where you establish a barrier between the protesters and the people they're trying to instigate. In the case of the Westboro Baptist Church, there were several different social groups that would put themselves between the protesters and the funerals that were occurring. The same thing could be done here. There's an example of these famous photos from Egypt. This is a group of Muslims praying while they're circled by a group of Christians protecting them. In another image, also from Egypt, there's a group of Christians praying while Muslims protect them as well. It's honestly sad if you think about it that so many Christians are trained to believe that there is a problem in this country because a single city of 100,000 people in a country of 340 million people happens to be a minority religion. When this country was founded on the idea of religious freedom, the idea that every man, woman, and child can seek the beliefs that suit them, and that's what freedom looks like, people worshiping religions that you may not agree with. It's also unfortunate, but more people will follow, more people like evangelical Christians or Jake Lang, where they will attempt to use and target the people of Dearborn, Michigan for their own personal gain. As far as I can tell, the best possible solution to this would be if a group of Christians were to band together and put themselves between the protesters and the people that they're trying to agitate, so they can't collect on lawsuits against the city or the state. If that happens, that is most likely to prevent this type of behavior from recurring.
Just a reminder, the only people that have a problem with Muslims in Dearborn, Michigan are people that are not from Dearborn, Michigan. Talk to anybody in Dearborn and they'll tell you it's a very prosperous community, a safe community, and a calm community until the knuckle draggers are going to show up, stir up trouble, cause problems, probably incite some sort of violence, and then be able to blame all of that on folks that live in Dearborn that are just trying to live their lives. What happened to defending the Constitution? A document that states that we have religious freedom in this country. There's no Sharia law, there's no terrorist activity, nothing like that. To assume otherwise is just a racist false flag to defend the whole idea of not liking somebody that isn't exactly like you. It's ignorance in multitude, and it's sad that's where we're at.